All right, so we are on our way to Salt Lake today. I've got Steve in the back. We got Eeyore with us. We got Colton. So we are taking the Bombi chassis and a bunch of parts up to our buddy Kevin at Powder Extreme Coatings. But before we go to Salt Lake, we got something cool happening. We're gonna stop in Nephi, Utah, because we have a 1965 Ford Mustang that a guy named Walter from Massachusetts is actually donating to the channel. And Walter, if you're watching, thank you. We really do appreciate it. We're gonna take good care of it. And I mean, it won't be a today project or a tomorrow project, but maybe a one day. So anyway, supposedly it runs and drives. We'll figure that out and put it in our collection of things that we never finish. So he's sitting there waiting for us. My bad, we're on Layton time. That's awesome.
Of course, Steve goes straight to the hood. You gotta see the power. You gotta see. Oh. Leaf only deck. Yeah. Wow. Beautiful. This is sweet.
No way. I'm honestly mind blown right now. Sounds healthy. Let's go get some gas because it says empty. We're gonna go park it at my friend Tyson. It needs a little bit of work, but all right. So one thing, this came from Massachusetts at sea level. We are at like 5,000 feet above sea level here, so you're not gonna have a perfectly running carburetor. Just a little, the rear end shift. It needs some work to be not so scary, but this is freaking awesome. And I'm not a Mustang guy, but you know what? All these Fords are taking you over. Now we're getting turned into a fourth person. Hillbilly's gonna be so pumped. So clean. It really is. For what this is, it is freaking unbelievably clean. It's got something going on with the rear end. No big deal. Once we get it back to the shop, we'll get it up on the lift and just see what's going on. Probably just some loose bolts. So what Walter was telling me is this has sat since COVID. Hasn't really done any racing with it. No track time. Anyway, so we got a lot of stuff to do to it one day. It's a one-day project. This is a passion project. Runs really good. Got to get past the richness of the carburetor, but it's got a 4-speed in it, first shifter. It just cruises. This is so crazy. Vibrates like no other. So I think we're gonna have to get a hold of him and fly him out here, take him for a drive, and really get the story of his car. Because other than a couple of emails and one phone call, I just thought it was another scammer wanting to give me something and steal my bank account or something. I don't know, but this is just too cool. Way too cool. Everything works.
It seemed to work that way. How do we go here?
Supposedly there's a spare transmission and a title. Dude, look at it. It's got the, like, holy cow. This must be the transmission. Oh no, that's the car cover. Oh, that's the transmission. JFF Racing, just for fun.
Right up in here.
Is it? No, what? Okay. You see that? There we are.
Package stuff.
Bill of sale and a Massachusetts title. Signed at $0. I can't even believe it. But believe it because it's here. In the flesh.
Well, here we are at our #1 stop, Maverick. Filling up the tow truck so we can get this up to Kevin, get it dropped off, he can get it powder coated. I was there.
All right, so we've got this all unloaded. We have everything separated out for Kevin. So he's got 2 days to get this done, and we're pretty pumped he's gonna be able to do it. Just kidding. We're gonna do gloss black on these parts, satin black on the tub, and then 2 parts of red, and the rest.
Yeah, we really need to get Matt to let me do some crazy color, but I don't know that was happening.
I know. We just gotta do
be a lot
what
funner.
it is. On mine, whiskers will we'll do
Yeah,
something cool
whiskers
on
are
that one.
definitely getting a bright color.
So cool, we're gonna drop this off. It's in good hands here at Powder Trim Coatings, and we're gonna get back to the shop. Appreciate it, man.
Oh, you think you're funny?
Just kidding! Get in the truck! So we just dropped everything off in the super talented Kevin's hands. He's gonna get everything taken care of, and we're gonna kind of do this in sections. So he's gonna get the tub all finished up. We'll get it back. We'll get that all reassembled and get all the pieces to take back to Matt, and then body work. So everything's gonna be in stages. For anything you guys need, powder coating, industrial style, ATVs, wheels, whatever you need. I am not joking, it is worth the time. Call Kevin at Powder Trim Coatings, talk to his daughter Keslin, she runs the office. They just do phenomenal work. They are extremely reasonably priced. And that's the reason we drive 2.5 hours one way to have them do our stuff. So this isn't sponsored. I want to be treated just like a normal customer. The reason I go to Kevin, and I tell him this, it's not because I get a discount, it's not because I get a good deal, it's because he takes care of me. And as a consumer, that's what you want to be, that's what you want. You want to be taken care of, and you want to get a good product. Anyway, we're gonna head down to Orem because we're going to get some lunch. We're getting Bam Bam's barbecue today because Colton's never had it.
I'm excited for Bam Bams.
You can tell that Eeyore's hungry.
I'm
he's not
starving.
excited.
I'm starving.
I am so excited! I can't even wait! I'm gonna get some food! Oh, I am right in the middle of the freaking lane. We'll be at Bam Bam's here in a minute. So Colton has never been to Bam Bam's barbecue, and every single time we come up here, we have to eat it. So we're seasoning him today. This is the best barbecue in Utah County.
Bam Bam.
Bam Bam.
How was it? Oh, it's so good. Thank you.
All right, so on our way back, we stopped in Nephi, Utah, and we picked up the Mustang. So we got it here at the shop. We're gonna get it unloaded, get it off the truck for the night, and then tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so we're taking the day off, but I'll be back in to put this thing on the lift and see how good or how bad or what we need to do to fix it. So far this car is sweet. Stop in the back end. It feels like it's got a ginormous, look at this, it's got the old washer bottle, overflow. I don't know what this thing is, but oh, it says 302 right on the intake.
It does right there.
Does it?
Yeah, what does that say? Lethal injection racing. Well, that's cool. Seems like a healthy engine. Oh, look at that!
Victor Jr. 302. That's what that says.
Built Ford tough with Chevy stuff. Got an HEI distributor in it.
But it's not a Chevy.
That is a Chevy HEI distributor in a Ford.
It's not a Chevy.
I will bet you
You cannot get a
$1,000.
Chevy distributor to fit into a Ford. You can get a custom from the factory
God.
for a Ford.
This is why it runs so well.
Yeah, no, I can't help but agree with Steve. All I know is that somebody at some point in this thing's life did a lot of freaking work to this. Look, it's got breather. a breather tube out the back. It goes down, the blow by. Oh, it's got a 2-wire GM distributor, or a 2-wire GM alternator in it. See that, Hillbilly? Well, that's another cool thing. So it doesn't have the stupid Ford module. So somebody's put some thought into this. Cool. Well, there's really like nothing for us to do. So once that car is off, I'll put it on the lift. We'll lift it up. We'll see why the back end shimmies. Other than that, this might just get a wash job. All right, so it is a beautiful morning here in central Utah. We take 2 days off for Thanksgiving, and we come back to blue skies and sunshine and all this warmth around us.
But it's a great day.
Anyways, we have every single vehicle started because every single thing is dead. The Mustang had a dead battery. The Mazda that Hillbilly put a turbo in that you guys didn't know about is dead. Whiskers was dead. Poor little Fred was dead. Everything's dead.
Dead
So
and cold.
dead and cold.
I mean
hot. So we've got everything warming up. We're gonna be playing musical vehicles. We gotta move the Mustang out, move Whiskers forward, move the Mazda out, move the Mustang in on the lift, raise the lift. We gotta bring Bombi's cab in. And then the reason we're moving all this stuff is because we have a Jeep frame right there behind the fence that we're pulling in because our friends over at Holly Performance sent us a transmission from B&M Performance. It's a 4L80E, 2-wheel drive that we got to convert to a 4-wheel drive. We've got an Atlas transfer case. We've got a 6.0 LS sitting in the back that we're going to be bringing in, and we're going to get to work on getting our drivetrain shoved in that frame so we can get building that Jeep, Toyota, Land Cruiser, whatever it is.
Toyota Jeep.
Anyways, got a lot of stuff to do, but don't ever take time off, because when you take time off, Mother Nature gets mad and dumps this crap on you. The only old car that the e-brake actually works. All right, 2 out of 10 vehicles are moved. This is our Mazda. It sat in the impound lot for like a year because we thought it had a blown motor, but surprisingly enough, Hillbilly told him what was going on, and he's like, oh, it's got a bad turbo. Sure enough, it had a bad turbo, so we're just dumping all the oil out the exhaust, smoking like you wouldn't believe, had no power, so I was gonna crush it. So we put a junkyard $250 turbo in it. Our Mazda CX-7 is back to being a rental car. So we gotta slide these underneath, but with the wheelbase needs to be short, we gotta slide this one, go forward. Now I'll slide the other one, kind of give you an idea. All right, so we've got the Mustang on the lift. Now, I want to point out the fact that you don't need a 16,000 pound lift to lift a Mustang that weighs like 3,000 pounds, but it helps. Does helps.
Does help.
Look at that. Doesn't even wiggle. All right, so we had our pre-Black Friday sale a month ago. Thank you to everybody that bought from us. Now we have a special offer for you. So anybody that has purchased anything from our website and spent $25 or more, including the pre-Black Friday sale all the way until today, and from today until the day before Christmas, you are gonna be entered into our Challenger Lift 10,000 pound lift giveaway. There we go. See, it's a huge sale for anybody that goes to our website, robbylayton.com, and you purchase anything on the site, $25 or more, you're gonna be entered into our Challenger Lift 10,000 pound 2-post lift giveaway. As an added bonus, I'm gonna be giving you guys 10% off of everything on the website. So just like last year, we partnered with Challenger Lifts. I am gonna buy a 10,000 pound 2-post lift, and I'm gonna be giving it away to one of you lucky individuals. Yeah, you, right there. This could be yours. Make sure you click the link in the description, in the pinned comment, or just go to robbylayton.com and get yourself anything. $25 or more qualifies you for the lift giveaway.
I wanted to see the stocking that's big enough to hold this.
Make sure you click the link in the description, head to the website now, get yourself some awesome merch, support the channel, and let us give you a lift.
Thank you.
All right, so we've got this up on the lift, and I don't have anything bad to say about this Ford, because this is probably one of the coolest things that's ever been gifted to me in my entire life. Aside from my wife, Mustang's a hard second. I mean, I'm looking around, and this thing literally, oh, I shouldn't say literally, the internet got mad the other day. Anyway, literally, this is so clean. Looking around, this has had, somebody's loved this car. It's got inner and outer rockers that are solid. Maybe they've been replaced once in their life. There's a little bit of rust here, but not a lot. Anyway, this is not something that I feel is gonna get a full-on restoration. This car is the way it is because it's been loved and cared for and raced its whole life. So if we do anything, it's more or less gonna be like some maintenance things. We're gonna put tires on it. Brakes feel good. Transmission's solid. Driveline's solid. I checked the U-joints, they're fine. It's even got a, oh, that's loose. Yeah, we'll wanna go ahead and tighten that up.
A little bit of TLC.
Yeah, a little bit of love here and there, but nothing like too crazy major. The only thing that I do see that we are gonna have to take care of immediately is this is broken out. The U-bolts are really, really undersized. So when you get on this, it axle wraps like you wouldn't believe. The 125 horsepower that this thing turns times 10, just kidding. It's probably, I don't know, probably like 350, 400 horse, I'll bet. It's pretty healthy. It's got these 2.5-inch Flowmasters. Real nice. Anyway, I'm gonna get a new track bar for both sides. We're gonna get new U-bolts and just get that where this thing doesn't want to axle wrap on us. We do want to paint it eventually. Demry's picked out a super cool teal color from PPG. It's an original Mustang color, so we'll probably end up painting it, maybe fixing a few things in the interior, and then just keeping it forever and ever and ever. Because Walter gifted this to us, so it's never going anywhere. So thank you, Walter. Super cool. Now the reason we put this up on the Challenger lift is we got to bring in Bombi's shell and all Bombi's parts and put them right here. So check out who came in on a Saturday on his day off. Eeyore. It's getting Colton. It's not Eeyore, okay, internet, it's Colton. All right, so we've got all the parts moved. We're gonna go outside, get Fred, and move Bombi's shell in here. It's gonna be really, really cold, so come with me. Beautiful day out today.
We have to have this white stuff everywhere. It's a snow cat. It doesn't like snow.
It doesn't want to be cold. Snow kitties like the warmth.
Okay.
So we're like 50% finished moving everything. I'm gonna bring Whiskers back to its final resting spot in front of this door. And then we've got to get the Jeep frame, Toyota frame, from the back inside the shop so it can start melting. We've got a lot of stuff to do to it. Then we'll go to the storage container, find all our stuff, start building all our stuff. All right, so just the two of us. Colton's gonna get the steering straight and I'm gonna pull this thing forward. So you're just gonna have to believe that we did it and we'll show you when it gets inside. We got the frame exactly in line with the door. The wheel lifted its job, it pushed, the boom pulled. Now we're gonna let it all down and just push it in. It's got lockers. All right, so this took us a heck of a lot longer than we expected. It took about 4 hours to get everything inside, all moved around, and then I had to go to the storage container and get all my parts and pieces. So the goal is to try to get the motor and transmission mated together, get it installed in the frame, get our skid plates, all that fun stuff. But that's gonna take a lot of time. And it's Thanksgiving weekend. So today is Saturday, so we only worked till noon. Colton's already taken off. I'm gonna take off because my family's hungry, so I'm gonna go feed them some leftovers from Thanksgiving. I'm sure you guys are doing the same. It's always the best part about it. We'll be back Monday morning. Got so many projects, but I do want to point out the fact we always get everybody else's projects done. So you might not see us get our stuff done. That's because we do everybody else's, but everybody else's gets finished, just not mine. So I'm okay with that. So anyway, we'll see you in a couple days. All right, so we lied and we came in on a Sunday. So I got Colton here with me.
Beautiful Sunday.
So we've got a special delivery. Our 4L80E transmission from Holley Performance finally came in. So Holley owns B&M. So we reached out to them. They got us a brand new transmission. So with our 4L80, we got the new whole shot 2000 stall torque converter that we're gonna put inside this thing. And it looks freaking awesome. With the transmission and the torque converter, Holley sent us one of their brand new Magnum Grip B&M Pro Stick Street Bandit Pro Bandit automatic transmission shifters. So this thing's gonna be sweet. All right, so we did something that we don't normally do here, and we went ahead and cleaned the bench off. And we're not gonna work on our knees today because it is on a Sunday. Colton got this all cleared off. We got the 4L80E up here on the bench. And now we either need to do one of two things. By disassembling this transmission, by cutting this, I'm just hoping this works. So the difference between a 4-wheel drive and a 2-wheel drive 4L80E is this output shaft. Now, in order to get this output shaft, it's the same housing as a 4-wheel drive, but it is a different output shaft than a 4-wheel drive. 2-wheel drive is longer because you have your slip shaft that comes all the way in this tail housing, and on a 4-wheel drive, you have a transfer case that bolts here and doesn't come in and out. I've watched YouTube. I have watched an astronomical amount of videos on YouTube, and I have learned how to properly measure and ruin an output shaft. So here in a second, we're gonna measure this out, and we are going to attempt to not ruin this transmission because this thing is brand spanking new, and it deserves to go into my Jeep without having to send it to a transmission shop and have a new output shaft put in it. So that is the goal today. Check this out. So we got our 4L80E adapter. See, that goes on just like that. Now, we've got our Atlas that bolts up to the flat. We're gonna use this marking tool. All right, so that is about 2 1/4 inches in there. And we are roughly 2 inches from the flange. We're gonna end up cutting off a good little chunk of that tail housing. If the YouTube channel that I watched that cut their transmission is correct, this is gonna go flawless. All right, so we think we have it figured out. So I've got it all taped up. What I've done, it took 2 people, so me and Colton, we didn't film the process because we both had to do it. But what we did is we took this flat plate, went off the back side, and we were able to get our mark. And then we moved it, you know, just like this, and we just measured and got it marked all the way around. So basically what we have is we have 2 1/4 inches. We're gonna have 2 1/4 inches of shaft out, because if you come here, about 2 3/8 of an inch into bottoming out. So I want it to have about 1/8 of an inch of play. And then right here, we're about 2 inches from the plate in. I think we're going the wrong way. All right, back to the drawing boards. We're gonna figure this out, and then I'm gonna come and show you what we did. What we've done is we just got smart. We watched the video a little bit further on YouTube, and we slid this onto the shaft, and we have 3 1/8 inch of shaft that's gotta be cut down. So we wanted to make sure we got quite a bit that needs to come off. So, but I'm pretty certain that we've got enough. So this is 2 inches, basically to that bolt head. That's how far that shaft is gonna go inside this adapter. We should be okay. Probably gonna take off 3 1/4. That's gonna give us 1/8 of an inch buffer from this 2-wheel drive 4L80E, converting it to 4-wheel drive. Now, if we had another transmission here, we could have just measured the output shaft of the transmission, but we don't. So in the video that we watched, that you guys will see right here, he had a 4-wheel drive transmission sitting next to it so we could reference, but he still did exactly what we did. But on his transfer case, he had a lot more input shaft on the transfer case. So he had to cut down a little bit from the input and from the output and make it work. But I think all we've got to do is cut shaft off here, and this is gonna work. Please wish us luck.
Oh yeah, lots of luck.
This is a $5,000 transmission that we're about to ruin. So I'm gonna get this adapter plate removed, and basically, you guys gotta remember, this is my first time. I've never cut a transmission tail housing off. Pretty much everything we do was all trial and error. So what we're gonna do is we're going to remove 3 3/16 of an inch off of this shaft. So that is our cut mark right there. Now, check this out. We're gonna have 2 inches. Look at that. It legit is gonna bottom out right there perfectly. I'm gonna line up all my cute little marks. We're gonna put a mark so we know which side to cut, because I will cut the other side. That's just how my life works. And then what I'll do is after I cut it, I'll bevel it just like this, so that it just has a little bit of a nice bevel. But before we can do that, we got to protect our transmission. Hey, don't laugh. If it works, it works. It's only stupid if it doesn't work. Am I right? Am I right?
You are right.
Wish me luck! Want to try to straighten this up? Oh, the moment I've been waiting for, now that I have ruined it. Let's see if it's gonna work. That is so small. All right, that's a good sign. We're bottomed out. And that's about 1/8 of an inch. Schmala. So I think, as soon as we put this adapter plate on, we'll put this on, just to make sure everything lines up. I think it's gonna work. So we're gonna go ahead and get the bolts that we're gonna use. I'm gonna go get some of our Allen head bolts and use them because I can't get a wrench in that one. I can't get a wrench in that one or that one. Well, I went and got new bolts, Allen heads, and all this other stuff. And then I found a little bag that came from Advanced Adapters with bolts in it. So they're flange bolts. So I went ahead and I just used the correct bolts that came with the kit. So anyway, we're gonna get this all wrenched in, get them tight. We do have some Loctite on these bolts because there's no lock washers or anything like that. So we'll get this adapter installed. Okay, you're in the vise. So I just want you to know that you're gonna stay there while, oh, I don't know why my head is sideways, sorry. We're gonna grab the Atlas and we're gonna make sure it fits. Oh, that's heavy. Whoa. Look at it! Look at
the win.
Look at it! I'm gonna call that a winner. I'm just gonna throw a bolt in just for funsies. We don't know where this is gonna clock out at. So it's not going in until the transmission's in. We successfully converted our two-wheel drive 4L80E to a four-wheel drive 4L80E. And so this got a little bit of moisture on it, so I'm just gonna hit it with a wire wheel. Just kind of get a little bit of the rust off. I don't think this really matters, but I'm just gonna clean the face up. Bloop, 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 bloop. Now is the tedious task of burping the torque converter. I want to put as much fluid into this torque converter as I can because it's going to be a while before we actually put transmission fluid in this because we're building it. It's not going to run for a while. So we'll get as much fluid in this as we can, and then I've got to set this into the transmission, and then me and Colton are going to bolt it up.
25 hours later.
We got 3 quarts in here. That's going to be much heavier than it was. So now we know that it's not dry. This needs to go on here. You got to click it 3 times to get it all the way in. 1, 2. Oh, just kidding. That went right in. That was super easy. I guess that's the joys of brand new. Oh, we spilled. I guess that's the joys of brand new transmissions and brand new torque converters. Honestly, you'd never believe it unless I filmed it. I don't think this flex plate's gonna work because the 4L80 jumped up in place and wedged itself tight. So I have a 6.0 LS out back. We're gonna go look at the flex plate out there, see if it's any different. But if not, I'm gonna have to order a flex plate that'll work. So what that means is this might be the end of the day for us. Because I'm pretty sure this is all the way in. I don't think it goes any more clicky-doos in. I'm gonna pull it out. See? Goes in. I lied. It wasn't in all the way. Well, one good thing, check this out. Now that we went to all the work of removing that, we can make sure the bolt pattern's correct. No fit. Doesn't fit. Bolt pattern does not fit.
It looks too small.
It does. So we are going to go see if I have another flex plate. All right, so we've ran into another issue. Like always, we always have issues. The 6.0 that I have as a donor doesn't have a flex plate. So we're headed to Manti to go look in a storage unit. It's actually Colton's storage unit. He's got a 6.0 in there that we're hoping has a flex plate. So we've brought the old one. We're gonna compare notes. And if it works, great. If not, then we're gonna be ordering one. So we're gonna head over to Manti, but I had to stop and pick up some kitties. Went and picked the kids up, so they're gonna go with us.
It might be that one.
Wrong lock.
This one.
Just trying to break into the neighbor's storage unit. If you guys want to see what type of vehicles Colton's into, feast your eyes on a Mazda Miata. And look at that, we got a flex plate. Grab it, let's see if it's got more than 3.
What are those two?
It's different, so let's size it up. We're gonna check it with ours that we brought. Oh, Colton. It says Colton 6.0. Look at that. Look at that cute little Mazda. That is supposed to be in that. All right, now this one shows inside. Crank pattern's the same. Can't tell if these bolts are the exact same either. I think they're the exact same. All right, we're gonna take it just because, mainly because it's flat, and maybe we could drill it. At this point, I have nothing to lose, so we're gonna slot the holes and see if we can get this to bolt up. If not, we're done for the day, and I'm just gonna have to order all the correct stuff, which is fine, but we're gonna try. So this is some super, super precise drilling. I do not recommend slotting your holes, but at this point I have nothing to lose. Nope, that didn't work. Cool. We'll grind that down. All right, so I've got the flat spots all filed. Now I'm gonna go grab my round file. This is an air file. It's super sweet. It's an air saw air file. We're gonna hope for the best here. It can't be any worse than it is right now. The moment of truth. Okay, that one fits. This one fits. What about this one? Okay, so they fit, but now the real question, so that looks like it's pretty centered. The real test is gonna be,
Well, it should work.
it should work. So we're gonna put the flex plate back on the engine, and we're gonna mount the transmission and see if it'll work. Now, we know that this is installed correctly because I did it wrong the first time. So now, if this can just hopscotch itself back up on there, we will be able to tell if this is gonna work. So, it is on there. And just like that, it jumps on. Lincoln, I see you. What I'm looking at now is the center of the torque converter is not going into the back of the crank. So they sell a spacer that needs to go in there. So what I want to do is I just want to see if the bolts are going to go into the flex plate. So I'm going to put the 3 bolts in, see if it'll bolt up. We're not going to tighten it up because this is going to have to come apart. But we can at least do this to get it mocked into the frame. Hey, what are you doing, Mr. No Shirt? Working?
Yeah, really.
Oh yeah, working? All right, so we've got 2 in. Put my last bolt, and would you look at that? So we've got this to where it's gonna work. I just need that spacer to go on the back of the crankshaft into the center of the torque converter. But that is gonna work. All right, so everything on the LS is metric. So we've got, yeah, you, Mr. Naked over there, just building away. So we got M10 by 1.5 by 30 millimeter bolts. Yeah. All right, so that side's on. All right, I need my bolts.
Wow.
Give me that bolt.
No.
Yeah. Now put it in that hole, right here. Look, right here. Twist it.
Whoa.
Twist it. Good job, dude. So we thought we were done. Now we got a wild hair up our butts, and we're gonna set this in the frame. Not gonna weld it, but we're gonna set it. I still need to get a transmission mount. I need to get a transmission mount and a few other things. We want to get it up here out of the way because we got a lot of stuff to do this week while we're waiting for the car. So that's what we're doing. All right, so I've got this driver's side motor mount exactly where it needs to be. Colton grabbed the clamp. We've got it clamped. Now I'm gonna get the passenger side beat into place, and then this motor will be where it needs to be. It's not in its forever home. That fan won't be getting used. We're gonna be using an electric fan. The pulley clears. We've got plenty of clearance for this to articulate, and our 3-link to come up and miss it. We miss over on this side. We got lots and lots of room for days. So this side's not too far off. We are gonna have to hit it and get it into place. So it needs to come down a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell Colton where to hit. All right, so we got the passenger side set. The nice thing, there's lineup holes. So we've got the lineup hole lined up. We've got everything in place. It's tight all the way around. that's all we can do because I don't want to weld this until I have the transmission mount. But we do have the transmission sitting on the mount that came with the kit. So we at least have the distance somewhat accurate, but it's just not accurate enough that I feel comfortable to use it. We're just gonna let this sit. But as you can see, these motor mounts, they are so sweet. And then we got a ghost right there. Where's little Lincoln? Them right here. All right, so we got as far as we can get. The motor and transmission is set in place until we can get parts. But make sure you guys click the link in the description below. Get yourself entered to win a Challenger lift. You don't want to miss out because you're gonna have to wait an entire year to win another one. So as always, we appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video, go check out this one.